Hey boys, welcome back to another video. Doing my TA for Bitcoin today, and market is absolutely in shambles right now because Trump announced during the weekend that they were going to impose 10 to 25% tariffs on Denmark, Finland, France, Germany, Netherlands, Norway, Sweden, I think like mostly some NATO countries, because Trump is saying that Greenland is basically a national security priority for the US and they want to take over or buy out Greenland from Denmark. But, European countries are opposed to this. They're deploying troops for maybe they want to retaliate, but market is reacting at the open when the market futures open and it's dumping. Risk of assets are pumping though. Big gap on silver and gold, as you can see on my charts right here. But I'm going to give you guys my TA for Bitcoin. What's next? What will happen here? My exact thought on how I'm going to trade Bitcoin this week, because we are going to have a very volatile week. There is a bunch of red folders this week that happens only once a year, boys. I think it's the WEF meeting. So I think it's gonna happen tomorrow, but this week is going to be crazy. So before we get into the video, boys, my exact TA, I just want to say, boys, if you've been liking my video so far, please help me grow. Subscribe to my channel, and I do have some links below. I've been using Weeks a lot. Bybit also have some discounts for client funding. So best way to help and support a channel out is for you to use my links. Disclaimer, I do get some referral fees if you use my link. All right. So Bitcoin rejected from this level right here. This was a high resistance liquidity, and we had a hard time going up here, but we built up some low resistance liquidity below, and it might be time to come down and run these lows. I don't know if Trump is a market maker, but each time we get into, I feel like each time we get into a resistance level and then there's targets below, Trump just like tariff. And it's just crazy. And then, market pulls back, gold and silver pumps, and then, stocks come down and we basically run the lows. So right now, my ICT TA for Bitcoin is targets are hit here. I could have shorted honestly, but I didn't want to take trades during the weekend, so I didn't trade at all. I was like, I'm gonna wait for next week because it's going to be very volatile. But I wish I woke up early today before Asia opened. Could have shorted. There was probably a lot of entries right here or here yesterday, but I'm pretty late now. Right now we are at the daily gap and we are coming back up because we are at support. If we do invert this daily gap right here, I think my next target will be to run these lows right here. You have some targets here, you have some volume here, so that will be my first like point of interest area. But if this doesn't hold to, we could probably run, like we have a lot of low resistance liquidity right here. So a lot of stop losses, a lot of money right here. Market loves to run those low resistance liquidity. Now, if we don't hold any of this support, I feel like we're probably gonna get this or this and this or even this, just like how this one played out. We took this liquidity out, bounced, built some low resistance liquidity, hit some resistance level right at the daily fair value gap as well. Premium, PDRAs, and then boom, we run all those liquidity below. We even hit this one, even this liquidity right here from the past move up. But look at where we bounce, boys, right at the tippity top of this daily fair value gap, and it's just crazy. This was a crazy move, and then we just ripped to all-time highs, right? So that is what I'm looking at right here. Maybe we could stretch this out, and this also like shows like a, I would say, relative equal lows. It does look like it's an equal low, so we might run those. This could look like this. We bounce, come down, and then the flash crash, and like that, just maybe range for a while, fake everybody out, and then finally move up, and then you go to new all-time highs. But it's really hard to say, trade macros. I don't really trade macros that much because I'm just a day trader. I trade levels. So I'll just wait for reaction when my levels get hit. But right now, we are at support, boys. So looking at the 4 hour candle just opened and it's trying to bounce. Resistance turned into support. I want to see how we react here. Do we go back up and hit some of the gaps, then come back down? I mean, this could be a nice short somewhere around here. So looking at the weekly also, like, I feel like we're honestly gonna come down, like do something like this, then boom. So that's what I'm looking at for Bitcoin. For longs, I do want to grab some longs. I think if we pull where's the discount zone? So anywhere, I think this will be a nice long, in my opinion. Like we could probably scalp some longs. So maybe if we take this out, you could do something like this, bounce, and then you could short that, go down all the way here. So this is a point of interest. This one also, I'm also gonna try because you have a daily fair value gap right there, something like that, and then you short again, come down, and you long, come down. I'm going to treat all longs here probably a scalp because we're probably gonna run all these lows if the tension in Denmark, Greenland doesn't stop. Trump just wants to take over everything. Like he took Venezuela and now Greenland. That's just crazy. But gives us more volatility for the market, which is nice. So I am very prepared. But basically, these are my point of interest for longs. Now for shorts, I don't want to short prematurely, but I'm thinking like on the 4 hours, I want to see how we react above here, like right here on this fair value gap right here. So if we do come back up right there, that will be a point of interest in how we trade. But be careful because we left also some liquidity up here. We might, go back up right here and then finally come back all the way down and run these lows. So pretty simple TA, boys. We're just trading the range. Once target hits, you could hedge a short, hedge a long, premium, discount, your liquidity, wait for the run. And looking, you gotta zoom out as well. If none of the supports work here, then my next one would be at this daily fair value gap. Maybe even close this, come all the way down here, and then bounce. Or it could be the start of a bear market and then finally come all the way down. Who knows? Who knows? That's why I'm only trading this level by level. So I am looking at 90K all the way to 88K for a potential support zone. And then I think this one would be really nice, 86K. And then you also have this 84K. A lot of people are probably looking at this. I think everyone and their mothers is probably looking at this liquidity. So those are my point of interest. That is it for this video, boys. Trump is taking over Greenland, so that's why the market is reacting this way. Gold, on the other hand, is, yeah, we could have longed gold and long I forget, boys, even silver. So metals are absolutely ripping right now. Silver is almost $100. The only silver I have, by the way, is just a necklace from Chrome Heart. I mean, I should have bought a bunch of silver, but all right, that is it for this video. Thank you for watching. See you boys on the next one.